It's Fans Corner. Welcome to it, and thank you so much for making time for us once again. We are back in the Betway Premiership. Cape Town City versus Kaizer Chiefs down at the Cape Town Stadium. The game that we've just watched now, that game ending in 1-0 favoring Cape Town City. The return of Mushin Etugal to the PSL. We saw him extremely jubilated at the end of the game for obvious reason. Kaizer Chiefs being one of his former teams, and also he was one of the ambitious coaches who wanted the job before it was given to Nabi. Obviously, he'd be more excited for the 3 points. Other than just the 3 points, the win itself and also against Kaizer Chiefs, it counts a little bit more than just any other team. Crowd attendance, I think I was satisfied with the crowd attendance on a Sunday evening, early evening in January. The people in Cape Town had a decent attendance down at the stadium. So I'm grateful. We are grateful for that, and big up, shout out to the people who made time to go to the stadium. It's a big stadium, so I didn't really expect it to be packed to capacity. It's not like the likes of the old Peter Mokaba. Like last time I said, in a small stadium is easy to generate a very electrifying atmosphere. So the Cape Town Stadium is quite big. The game itself, jeez man, this is one of the angriest games that I've watched. I got so angry just watching the game. The first 25 minutes, I tried making a little bit of notes. You know, the first 25 minutes, when we couldn't score in the first 25 minutes, and I thought to myself, all these chances that we're busy creating, we are going to regret it when Cape Town City get their counter-attack. And it happened exactly that way, because you know, in the first half, I looked at the start. Okay, let's look at the Kaizer Chiefs starting 11. I'm not going to talk about the City starting 11 because I was focused more on the Kaizer Chiefs side as a Kaizer Chiefs supporter, that is. I looked at the starting 11. I was not, the left-hand side. I spoke about the left-hand side, if you remember last time. The left flank, that is, because it's where we don't really know who starts there because it's different people starting there. Today it was Saile. I think he had a decent one, but Saile's biggest problem is the fact that he lacks composure completely. He has zero composure. Other than the fact that Dupree himself and also Duba, they too have pace and they don't know when to stop. If you look at the game in the first 25 minutes, almost to 30 minutes, because we started seeing Cape Town City playing around 25 minutes, around the 30th minute towards the end of the first half. They started playing after that, because the first half hour it was mostly Kaizer Chiefs. The pace, the Cape Town City couldn't deal with the pace. They couldn't cope because the Chiefs pinned City against the wall for most of that time. I don't remember City making so many box entries at the Kaizer Chiefs side in the first 25 to 30 minutes, because it was just Kaizer Chiefs. The pace was just too much for City. But they kept it compact at the back and they made sure that they don't concede. The biggest problem with Kaizer Chiefs is that they have the pace, but they just keep on running. You can't keep on running, eh? You can't just keep on running. At some point, you have to stop. There's a line that you have to stop at, so because you can only run, so you only have so much space. You can't just keep on running and running. At some point, you have to stop, make a cross or take a shot. Kaizer Chiefs' problem is that they have the pace, but they don't know when to stop. They don't have a good stop. They can't stop. They just keep on going. Saile is the worst case scenario. Dupree also. And the problem with when you keep on running too hard, you end up your decision making is not so good at the end of at the end of your run, because you are at a very high pace. You have to take a decision and you end up taking the wrong decision. That's what happened with Kaizer Chiefs, because they had a lot of chances that they could have converted. I'm thinking, had they run when they get to the final third, they slow down a bit. They try to pick a spot or pick a person who's in a better position and place the ball at the back of the net. They couldn't do that at all because they just kept on running. They worked hard instead of working smart. So, because, I mean, if we're to be honest, looking at this Kaizer Chiefs, they worked so hard. Almost everyone in the field worked so hard. But unfortunately, they were working hard, playing the occasion instead of playing the game. Look at Cape Town City, what they did. They realized that these ones are going to be running around. We'll just close them down. We'll get the ball, counter-attack, we score a goal. And that's exactly what they did. They didn't have to run around all the time. Honestly speaking, if you look at most of the players in the starting 11, everyone worked his socks off. But unfortunately, they were working the goal, the directionless, It's unfortunate because the defense as well, I have a problem today with today's game. My problem with the defense, the back four, all four of them, is that there were many occasions when they got the ball, they defended the ball well enough, and then instead of playing it to the middle field so that we can build up to try and create a goal scoring opportunity, they just went long. And by the time when you go long, sometimes we got our players going long. We got our players. We got Saile. We got Duba. Sometimes we got Mdu. Sometimes we got Dupri. But unfortunately, when you do that, they don't have much support when you go long. Okay, so that didn't go our favor. I think our midfield was decent enough today. In the middle of the park, I think Mtetwa had his Mtetwa kind of a game. Mard, okayish, I would say. So I think we should have allowed them to play from the back. Allow the ball to play. Don't just keep on playing the game in one half. When you see that it's now a low block, you try to stretch it. Play sideways if needs be. Play backwards. Allah stretch them a bit. But Chiefs didn't do that. They just keep on pouncing and pouncing and pouncing. And when you do that, all your players are now in the CT half. When you lose the ball, there's not even a single player at the back to defend. That's what happened. That's exactly how we conceded the goal at the end of the day. I think we are not smart. Nabi's coaching the players, but unfortunately he's not coaching them smart to be smart when they don't read the game enough. You don't have to keep on running all the time. You're wasting. In the first 25 minutes, I was even asking myself, will these people be able to maintain this? Because we were at a very, very high pace. And I thought to myself, they'll get tired and it's going to count against them. And that's 30 minutes into the game, then you start seeing Cape Town City coming through and showing you how to play this kind of a game. We were playing it naively. We're working very hard and naively so. We could not break them down, and unfortunately, once again, it's another loss. It's bad. Let's be honest, it's bad. At this moment, the results are not coming. Kaizer Chiefs, having not collected silverware in the past many, many years, it's too much pressure for Nabi now. I think he'll have to find a way to grind results. We can't score and we are conceding. That's a big problem. We can't score and we're conceding. And I think, honestly speaking, the other thing is that I think, in my humble opinion, that if we got a striker who's very composed, you could play with those high-paced players like the Dubas of your world, even Shaba at the center, and also whether it's Saile or whoever who was playing Modi on the left. Whoever's playing on the left, it's fine. They can play with that pace, but it can't be that all of them are quick players. They can't be all that quick because they are all just running and they end up outrunning the ball. And when you lose it there, you're losing it at the very wrong place. It's just terrible. It was a terrible game to watch. The first 25 minutes were very frustrating. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm sure you've seen sometimes when I put my lower third, my label at the bottom. I'm an Arsenal fan. I watched Arsenal yesterday. I was so frustrated. Arsenal drawing a game 1-1. See, they were doing similar things as what Chiefs did today. I felt like I was watching the Arsenal game for the second time. Same frustration. Because Chiefs could have killed this game in the first half. 3 goals at least in the first half could have been scored by Kaizer Chiefs. But they did not because of composure. We lack composure. We had the ball position. We are taking Cape Town City from minute 0 all the way to the 25th, roughly around that time of the game in the first half. We could have killed it off in the first half, but we couldn't. Again, it's once again one of those games when I said Chiefs are very good in the first half, but they can't finish off a game. Towards the end of the game, we seem to run out of ideas. And it's starting to show as well the thing that I spoke about in another video, that at some point, just go back to some of the videos, you'll see, I think it's captioned that way. At some point, the youngsters are going to get tired of carrying this team. Previous game we won, it was Mdu Shabalala carried this team on his shoulder. The kids they're young. You can't put all our hope on these young kids. They are inexperienced to carry a big team like Kaizer Chiefs, and especially that team that hasn't won a silverware in so long. So it's also starting to show. Even when you bring the likes of Vilagazi, you can see they're frustrated, man. They can't even play freely and enjoy their game. They're just going though to try and save the game, to try and save the team. It's terrible. I don't even know if they practice shooting at Chiefs. Of course they do. They probably do because they're professional, but the shooting is terrible, Our shooting is terrible. The only one person who has an accurate foot, it seems to be Mfundo Vilakazi. And I spoke about this before again. The rest were always off target. How many saves did Darren Kitt make in this game? Just a few. Also, we get a lot of corners. We can't convert them. We have to work on that as well, and our shooting. It's bad. I don't know. It's really bad. I'm feeling very frustrated with these Chiefs. Frustrated because we had hope at the beginning of the season. So now it's just we are once again going to be fighting to stay in the top 8 towards the end of the season. We are not going to be competing for anything. It's only the Nedbank Cup left, which is we are going to be knocked out probably in the first round or second round. The league, this one is long gone. Another season with no silverware. Another frustrating season, let me say. Okay. Otherwise, this has been Fans Corner. Thank you so much for making time for us. Remember to click the subscribe button. Subscribe to the Off-Air Podcast channel. This is the channel that brings you Fans Corner. We meet again in the next one.